Okay, let's start with the class, today's class. Okay, we were discussing about call by reference, but before that, we had discussed pointers in C. Okay, in the morning class, we have discussed about pointers, what are pointers, and how we can use pointers in C. Let's continue that. Uh, Pointers in C. I have told you all the examples here in pointers, and we have also discussed this. I'll just give a brief recap of that. Int a memory block gets created. Int star b. Star b acts as a pointer here. Remember, okay. Whenever there is a star with the variable name, it acts as a pointer variable. What is the advantage of pointer variable? Pointer variable can store address of other variables. Okay, pointer variables can store address of other variables. And just observe this one here, a equals 18. I'm storing a normal value in a normal variable, so 18 gets stored here in this particular memory block. B equals ampersand a. Now, this line is valid because B is a pointer variable. The speciality of pointer variables is they can store address of other variables. That's why. So B equals ampersand a is okay. That means address of a gets stored in B, which I have shown here. Okay. Now, if I write this printf percentage %d a, the value of a gets displayed on the output screen. Value of a display at the output screen only. If I want to print the value of a without using a within printf statement, that is also possible using a pointer variable. So you can check here. Observe this one here. So here we are trying to print the value of a in the second printf statement. We are trying to print the value of a without using the variable a. That's very specific here. Okay, so when I write star b here, when we write star b, what happens is the variable b or the pointer variable, when what computer will do is it will go to a particular memory called as b. Okay, it finds the memory block. After finding the memory block here, after finding the memory block, because I have written star b here, because I have written star b, computer goes to the place, it enters here, it finds 100, and it comes to know that 100 is not a normal number. It tries to find, because I have written star here with the variable b, it tries to find a memory block with the address 100, and it will find the memory block. A is a memory block with the address 100. It will reach there, it enters that memory block, it gets a value in that memory block, it brings back the value and replaces percentage %d with that particular value here. That's why that second printf also prints 18 on the output screen. Hope you have understood. This is how pointer variable can be used to print the value of other variables. Okay. See, if I don't write star here, if I simply write b, what computer will do is it will print the value of b. What is the value of b? Value of b is nothing but address of a, which is stored in the memory block of b. The computer won't try to go to the memory block with the address 100 if you simply write b here. Okay, so if you, that's what I'm going to show here. Printf %d b. The computer will go to the memory block, it will enter there, it will print whatever the value is there. Even though it is an address, it won't worry about going to that particular place when I write only b. Okay, though it's a pointer variable here, because I have written b here, printf will consider printing the value of b. Value of b is 100, which is address of a. Computer will go to that memory block only if I write star b. Instead of star b, if I simply write b here, it won't worry about going to that memory block which has 100, address 100. It will just print 100 on the output screen for this printf statement. So this is what pointers is. This is how we use pointers. And this is the importance of pointers. Remember, I'll repeat it again. Pointers are mainly used to store address of other variables. What is the advantage of storing address of other variables? Storing address of other variable. Advantage of storing address of other variables is you can access the value of other variables. See, observe here. Address of A is stored in B, 100. What is the advantage? Because B has got the address of A, using this variable b, I can access the value of a, 18. That's what we did here. Is it correct? When we wrote star b, 18 got displayed, which is the value of a. So that is what pointers are. Pointers are variables which are used to store address of other variables. Advantage of storing address of other variables is you can access the value of other variables. That is a major advantage of storing address of other variables. So this is about pointers. This is what happens in star b anta iddaga, in star b bardaga, computer will go to memory block, it will enter the memory block, it finds some number. Because I have written star b here, it will try to find a memory block with the address 100. So it will go here to this memory block, it enters this memory block, you get the value which is stored in that memory block and will display that value on the output screen. So this is what pointers is. So let's see a program on this. Write a C program to add two integer numbers using pointers. Write a C program to add two integer numbers using pointers and display the result. Okay, so using pointers we have to add two integer numbers using pointers, not normal variables. Okay, and then display the, find the sum, then display the result. Now first three lines as usual. After that I'm going to write this int a comma b comma c. So it'll create three memory blocks a, b, c with some address. After that what I'm going to do is I'm going to write only two pointer variables, int star x, int star y. It'll create two pointer memory blocks, star x, star y with different address. See, you can observe no address is same here. Okay, I'm going to write a is equal to 17. So 17 gets stored in the memory block A. B is equal to 18. So 18 gets stored in the memory block B. So this is what happens here. 17 store ಆಯ್ತು, 18 ಕೂಡ store ಆಯ್ತು. Now I cannot write A plus B because the question says that I have to add two integer numbers using pointers. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to store the address of A within pointer X. I'm going to store address of B within pointer Y. So X is equal to ampersand A ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. Hope you people are concentrating. See, I want you people to concentrate if you are in the meeting or if you are in the class. Otherwise, if you simply just put it for a display and doing something else, it won't work. That's why try to concentrate. It's very, very important. What I'm doing here is x is equal to ampersand a. Address of a, I'm storing that within the pointer variable called as x. So what is the address of a? 100. 100 gets stored here. Y is equal to ampersand b. Address of b gets stored in y. Now what I'm going to write is c equals a plus b, but I should not add a and b. I have to add using pointers, star x and star y. So I cannot write c is equal to a plus b. That's not right here. So what I'm going to write here is, instead of that, I'm going to write c is equal to star x plus star y. It's very important here. See, when I write star x, what computer will do is, see, observe here, it goes to a memory block called as star x. It enters here. Okay, it finds some address. It'll search for that. It'll search for a memory block with that address. Of course, it'll find that memory block. It'll enter into that memory block. It'll get the value in that memory block 17. It'll bring back that value and it'll replace star x by 17. Similarly, when I write star by, it'll go to a memory block called as star by. Okay, it'll enter that memory block. So what is stored in that? 300. So 300 is address of some memory block. Which memory block? This memory block. It goes there. It enters that memory block. It gets the value 18 and it is 17 and it brings back 18 and it replaces star by 18. See, it 17 ಮತ್ತೆ 18 ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ. In background ಅಲ್ಲಿ 17 ಮತ್ತೆ 18 ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ x ಮತ್ತೆ y. Okay, so now it is 17 plus 18. So 17 plus 18 result will be stored in which variable? Called as c. So c ಅಲ್ಲಿ normal variable c ಅಲ್ಲಿ 35 store ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is the result. Okay, so this is what we call adding values of normal variables using pointers by storing address of those normal variables within pointers. So this is how you must know how to use pointers. Okay, so finally you can print the result which is stored in c using printf statement, normal printf statement. Printf sum of two integer numbers is %d, which variable? C. Close that flower bracket. That ends the program. So hope you have understood this program. You can have a glance once again. Write a C program to add two integer numbers using pointers and display the result. Okay. Display the result. So this is what we wrote and this is how it works. Okay. There is one more program. Let's see. These are some of the programs which we have already which are related to pointers. Write a C program to add three integer numbers instead of two integer numbers here. Three integer numbers using pointers. Pointers use normal variables kuda use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, pointers kuda use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, but three instead of two, three integer numbers using pointer and display the result. Same kind of program. You can try that. Okay, write a C program to find product of three integer numbers instead of addition. Product of three integer numbers using pointers again. Okay, normal variables should be there and pointers variables should also be there. Product you have to find. Write a C program to find simple interest using pointers and display the result on the output screen. That we will see soon. But before that, let's take this one. Write a C program to add two floating point numbers using pointers and display the result. See, only difference between this program, add two integer numbers here. Here it is add two floating point numbers. Now can you guess the program? What program you can write here? Because we have to use pointers here, we must use. Will there be any change in the program which we have discussed earlier, or will it be the same program? Yeah, let's see how it works. First three lines as usual. Then instead of integer numbers, we are adding floating point numbers too. That's why we are writing float a comma b comma c. Okay, that's why we are writing float a comma b comma c. Three memory blocks will be created where those memory blocks can store floating point values. And I'm declaring two pointer variables, star x and star y. But you can observe here, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, if you are doing anything else, just concentrate on your laptop screen where the same PPT is displayed, not anything else. Okay, or mobile screen. So observe here, int star x star y. But the variables memory blocks which I have created are floating point memory blocks, and the pointers which I am creating is star x star y. That should not happen. Okay, the pointers which are created to store address of some other variables, where other variables are floating point variables, then pointers should also be floating point pointers. Okay, remember. So instead of int here, I'm going to write it as float star x star y. Remember, float star x star y and star x and star y are pointers which can store floating point memory addresses. Okay, not values. These pointer variables can store address of memory blocks which are created of data type floating point. See, address will also always be an integer number or hexadecimal number. Okay, it cannot be floating point number, but because the memory blocks are floating point here, I mean memory blocks can store only floating point number, the pointers which can store address of these memory blocks must also be floating point. That is why I am taking it as float. Okay. uh, star x star y, so two memory blocks. These are also floating point, but these are pointer memory blocks. That's it. Okay, they can store address of other memory blocks. Now what is the next thing? Of course we are adding two floating point numbers, so store the floating point values here. A is equal to 17.1, b is equal to 18.1. Now we have to add the values of a and b without using a and b, which with using star x and star y. But before I can write star x plus star y, I have to write a. I have to store address of a within star x, address of b within star y. So write this: x is equal to ampersand a. What happens here in the memory block? You can see here when I write x is equal to ampersand a, address of a stored in gets stored in x, 100 store I2. Y is equal to ampersand b, address of b ಯಾವ್ದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಯಿತು, y ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಯಿತು, 500 ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಓಕೆ, 100 and 500, 100 and 500. Okay, so after that, instead of writing c is equal to a plus b, you have to write c is equal to star x plus star y. Star x ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? So it goes to a memory blocks x, it enters, it tries to find a memory block with the address 100. It goes there, it enters that memory block, it brings back 17.1 here in this place. Okay, and same case with star y. Okay, so result of star x plus star y is 35.2, which is stored in C. You can print the result on the output screen. Sum of two floating point numbers is percentage of C. Print that. That is the end of the program. So hope you have understood this program also. Okay, so this is also about pointers. This is just to show you that different kind of pointers exist, like integer pointers which can store address of integer variables, floating point pointers which can store address of floating point variables. Similarly, there is some other kind of pointer. Those are called as character pointers. These character pointers stores address of character variables. Okay, so this is how this program works. Now the important part of the portion, or important part of the discussion here, call by reference method. We are going to discuss what is call by reference method. Okay. Okay, you must not be so late to admit to the class. Okay, once class starts, you should be at least 10 minutes late, not more than that. If you try to join at the end of the class, what is the use of joining at the end of the class? That's why. Okay, so let's see this program. Hope you people are concentrating now, because this program is very important. That's why try to concentrate, because I'm going to explain call by reference method. Call by reference. So try to concentrate, all of you. Okay, let's see this program. Write a C program to add two integer numbers using user defined function. So you already know how to write this program. Write a C program to add two integer numbers using user defined function. You know how to write this program because we have discussed this program many times. Okay, but the problem is using user defined function and display the result in the main function. Until this point, you know how to write the program because we have already written so many programs on this. But the next part is use call by reference method. That is what the important part of this question, because we don't know, or we have not written how to return a program on how to use call by reference method, because till now we have used only call by value method. Okay, we have not used call by reference method. So That is why. Let's start with the program. See, this program uses user-defined function, and I hope you people are already aware of writing user-defined functions. So I'm not going to explain what is user-defined function and all once again. I'm going to explain only call by reference now. Okay, we have to write two functions, main function and user-defined function. Let's start with the main function. First three lines of the program, hash include, void main, open class bracket. Then I'm going to write user-defined function called as add, because we have to add two integer numbers using user-defined function. Okay, so parameters int x int y, because when add function ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ add function ಗೆ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ x ಮತ್ತೆ y ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿ add ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ನ ವಾಪಸ್ main function ಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು. That's why we have written add int x int y. What is the return type of the function? Int, because we are sending back the integer result back to main function. That's why this is the declaration of user defined function. Now normal variables within main function, int a comma b comma c, three memory blocks gets created. Okay, a equals 26, b equals 27. So a ಅಲ್ಲಿ 26 ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, b ಅಲ್ಲಿ 27 ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, then c is equal to, instead of writing a plus b here, I'm going to call user defined function add. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು, program to add two integer numbers using user defined function. Okay, so c is equal to add a comma b. Okay, c is equal to add a comma b. Then this is the major part of the program. Now from here computer goes to the place where add function is written. Add function ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So let's write add function, int add int x int y. Okay, the add function ಒಳಗಡೆ we have to perform the addition. That's why I'll open the flower bracket of add function. But before that, now observe here, when add function is called, the values of a and b are carried or passed to x and y of add function. This process of passing the values to a user defined function is called as call by value. But here we have to use call by reference. Okay, call by reference andre ಎಲ್ಲರೂ concentrate ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, so now I'm going to tell the important definition of call by reference or point of call by reference. That's why, instead of passing the values of a and b, if I pass address of a to x, address of b to y, when add function is called, that is called as call by reference. So instead of writing a comma b here, I'm going to write ampersand a comma ampersand b. Now I want you people to analyze what is ampersand a. Ampersand is nothing but address of a. What is address of a? 100. What is ampersand b? Ampersand b is nothing but address of b, that is 500. So add function call ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Add function call ಆದಾಗ computer from here it will go to the place where add function is written. While going, now it won't carry the value of a and b, it will carry the address of a and b to the add function. What are the values? 100 and 500 it will carry. Okay, it will carry 100 and 500 to the user defined function, and it will try to store those 100 and 500 within x and y. But what is the problem here? The major problem is, because I have already told you ಯಾವ ತರ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It is not possible to store address of a variable within a normal variable. Is it correct? In what kind of variables we can store address of other variables? In what kind of variables you will store address of other variables? What kind of variables do we need? As pointer variables. Okay, in pointer variables only we can store address of other variables. We cannot store address of other variables in normal variables. So that is a problem here. Okay, so observe this one, ampersand a ampersand b ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, but here I have written normal variables. Normal variables cannot receive address of other variables, so I have to convert these. Instead of writing normal variables here, I should write pointer variables so that they can easily accept the addresses which are passed when the add function is called. So I'm going to write int star x int star y. Instead of writing x and y, I'm going to write int star x int star y. Okay, so that is what is very very important in call by reference method. This is what we call call by reference method, where a function is called by passing address, not values. Function call ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. That is what we call by reference or call by address. method. Okay. Now, because I have written star x star y here, ampersand a, address of a gets easily stored in two pointer memory blocks are there. Address of a is to 100 gets easily stored in x. Address of b 500 gets easily stored in y. So this is what happens here. Okay. Now within this user defined function, I have to add the values of a and b, 26 plus 27 here. But we have passed the address here. We did not pass the values here. Values pass ಮಾಡಿದಿದ್ರೆ x ಮತ್ತೆ y ಅಲ್ಲಿ 26 ಮತ್ತೆ 27 ಬಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. We would have easily added those values and return the result back here. But because we are passing addresses here, values won't be available in star x and star y. You can see here. But what is the advantage of storing address of normal variables within pointer variables? We can access values of those normal variables if we have address here within pointer variables. That is why pointers are important. I have told you already. Okay. So now observe here what I'm going to do. I'm going to declare a normal variable called as int z. Normal variable create ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Z is equal to x plus y ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. But can anybody guess what happens if I write simply x plus y? Should I write star x plus star y or x plus y? If I write x plus y, what actually happens here? ಬರೀ x plus y ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಏನ್ add ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? What happens? If I write simply x plus y, are you people awake? Hope you people are awake. Okay. ಎದ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yeah, if you simply write x plus y, what computer will do is computer will, because you have written x plus y here, computer goes to the pointer memory block x. It gets 100. It won't worry about whether 100 is address of any other memory block. It'll bring 100 in the place of x. It'll bring 500 in the place of y. It'll add those two values. But I don't want to add 100 and 500 here. I have to add 26 and 27. How to access a without using a here, because I cannot use a in this boundary here. That's why I'm going to write star x plus star y. When I write star x, computer goes to this particular memory block. It finds 100 here. It comes to that 100 is address of this memory block. It goes to that place. Okay, it enters there. It brings 26 back. Okay, similarly y, same happens with y. Okay, observe 27. Now 26 plus 27, though we have not used a and b here, without using a and b, with writing star x plus star y, we have added and we have stored the result in z. Z ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ z ಅಲ್ಲಿ 53 ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ 53 ನ ಮೇನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ರಿಟರ್ನ್ z ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ರಿಟರ್ನ್ z ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಾಗ z ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ value of z, that is 53. That will be stored in c. C ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Print that. Print of sum is percentage d c. Close that. So this is what the exact program is. Okay, this is how we write pointer programs. That's why here also we are going to write star x and star y. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Have a glance at this program. I'm going to display one more program. I want you people to guess the program and try to guess what to write in that program. So I'll give a minute for you people to have a glance at this program, and I'll display main question once again. Okay, let's check another program. Read the question and try to guess the program for this one. Fast, I'll display the program and explain program as soon as possible. Yeah, this is what the question is. Let us go on to read values of PTR. We have to read the values of PTR, not initialize. Okay. Find the simple interest using user-defined function and display the result. Display the result in main function. Display the result in main function. Okay, let's analyze this program. Okay, so float PTR you know what is this? Memory blocks are created. Because we have to read, I have to write a printf statement here. Enter the values of PTR. User will enter those values, read those values, and store those values in the memory blocks PT and R. So let's imagine these are the values. Observe ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ. I won't point here using the pointer, mouse pointer. Okay. Next, instead of writing the formula here, I'm going to call a function called as simple function. Okay, user-defined function. See, if I write PTR, it becomes call by value because it will pass the values of P, T, and R. But I have to use call by reference. What should I write here? If I have to call a function using call by reference, I have to write addresses of P, T, and R. That's why I'm writing ampersand P, ampersand T, ampersand R. Okay. So what happens when this line is executed? Computer goes to the place where simple function is written. It will try to execute that function. So observe simple float x, float y, float z. Is this okay if I write float x, float y, float z? Because I'm passing the address here, this is not okay. I have to convert these as pointer variables, so I'm going to write them as pointers. Float star x, float star y, float star z. So these are the memory blocks. Okay. Now, addresses of PTR are stored in x, y, and sorry. There is a mistake here. It should be star x, star y, star z. Just imagine that. Okay, star x, star y, star z has become star y, star y, star y here. Now, within the function, user-defined function, I'm going to create one more variable called as float s. After that, I'm going to write. See, observe this one here. S is equal to. See, this is the formula, right? For simple interest, star x andre first memory block into star y second memory block into star z third memory block. T star R divided by 100 ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಬದಲು you are writing this. See, when I write star x here, okay, when I write star x, computer goes here, it will try to find this address, it goes to this place, it carries this value, it gets the value 1000.0, it will come back, it will replace star x by 1000. Okay, 1000 into star y ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it'll go here, it'll get this value 1.2. 1000 into 1.2 into star z means 2.1 divided by 100. So it will calculate the total result. It will store the result in this variable s. Okay, the result, it could be 25.2, I don't know exactly. Okay, so in the normal variable it is stored. After that, you have to return the result back to main function. So return yes, I am writing. So return yes ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. S ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಾಪಸ್ main function ಗೆ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ place ಗೆ? From the exact place where function has been called. Okay. What is the return type of the function? Return type of the function is float because you are returning a floating point value which is stored in s. That's why it should be float. Okay. So return ಆಗಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬಂದು ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? SI ಅನ್ನೋ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So 25.2. Then of course here user-defined function ends. Print the result in main function itself. Print of simple interest is percentage of SI. Close the main function and first line we have not written. What is the first line? Function declaration. Float simple, float star x, float star y, float star z. So this is how you must know how to write call by reference program. Okay. Call by reference, either you should know how to write the call by reference, and you should know how to write these programs, understand these programs, call by reference method programs. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to understand data structures. That's why. Okay, this is about call by reference and pointers and functions, everything. Okay, we have discussed everything here: call by reference, pointers, and functions. And hope you have understood pointers, because pointers is very very important. Hope you have understood call by reference. If you have any doubts, do let me know. You can uh, mail me the doubts, or you can contact me about anything which is you are finding difficult. Okay, right now we have not yet started the syllabus. I'll start the syllabus as soon as possible. And be regular to the classes. Don't attend the class, or don't try to attend the meeting at the end of the meeting. That's not the good way of attending the class. Okay, it shows us you are attending only for attendance. That even I don't mind giving attendance. That's not a problem. But I want you people to learn something. That's why. Okay, so uh, let's talk here. If you have any queries, you can ask me now about regarding the lesson, or regarding the subject which we are discussing. Otherwise, be regular. I have seen many people are not there in today's class, because only reason is it's afternoon class. Don't do that, because you'll miss a lot of things if you do that. And in the next class, you'll act as if you don't know anything. You may switch off, minimize the screen, and you may start playing PUBG, or any other game, or playing the videos. That is not worth attending the class. That's why. Okay. So hope you have understood everything here. Today's class. Let's stop for today. I want you people to enter your USN and name. If you have any queries, do ask me. Have a great evening. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಿತ್ತಾ?